Alright, key governing documents as amended to May 17, 2022. Constitution, Boys and Girls Club. Table of contents, Congressional Charter, Constitution requirement and membership, membership dues, and appendix. Yes. Congressional Charter. Boys and Girls Clubs in America Incorporation Public Law 84-988, Statute 4184, approved with the August 6, 1956, amended with the Public Law 102-199, House Resolution 525, approved December 10th, 1991. An act incorporated with the Boys and Girls of America entitled the Senate of the House of Representatives of the United States of America Congress assembled with the following publications, and then it has a list of addresses. And then the successors are hereby created, declared to be body corporate or district, where legal demonstrators shall be the name of the Boys and Girls Club here and after referred to the corporation. Such name shall be the name with a perpetual succession, power, limitation, restriction herein contained. Complete organization, section 1. A majority of the person named of the first section act for the authorized to complete with the organization of the corporation. Adoption of the Constitution by laws not inconsistent with this act of the doing such of the acts of include the selection of the officers employed with accordance with the such Constitution by laws as may be necessary with the purpose. The purpose of the corporation, section 2. Purpose of the corporation is to promote the health and social education, vocational charter of the development of youth throughout the United States of America, receive an investment diverse fund with the whole property with the purpose of the corporation, corporate powers. Corporation shall have the power to have succession with the corporate name of the sue and then be sued, and complain or defend with any of the corporate, any court competent jurisdiction adopt with an alter of the corporate seal of the chief of the officer of the manager, agent of the employee with the business of the corporation may acquire, adopt and amend with the alter of the Constitution bylaws not inconsistent with the law of the United States of the state of the corporation to operate with the management of the property regulation of its affairs, state of the contractor whether to make the lease and gift of the purchase, grant, divide for the bequest with any of the private corporation, association, partnership, firm, and individual of the whole of the property, real person, all of the mix necessary for the covenant obtained with the objective of the carrying into with the effect of the purpose of the corporation, subject to carry over the applicable provisions of the law, any of the state of the governing and amount of the kind of the property which may be held by the B, otherwise in limiting with the control of the ownership of the property by the corporation operating in such a state. 8. To transfer, convey, lease, the sublease, incumbent with the otherwise alternate with the real person over the mixed property, and to borrow money with the purpose of the corporation, issue bonds thereof, with the security of the same of the mortgage of the debt of the trust pledge with the otherwise subjected to every case to all of the applicable provision of federal state law. Principal office, scope of the activity, distribution, Columbia, the agent of the principal officer of the corporation shall be located within New York City, and such other place may be later determined with the board of directors of the activities of the corporation shall not be confined with that place of the may be conducted throughout the various state of the territory possession of the United States. B. The corporation shall have the district in the district Columbia at all time of the designated agent authorized except for the service of the process of the corporation notice for the service upon such agent mail business address and such agent shall be deemed notice for the service of the upon of the corporation. Membership, section A. Eligibility, membership of the corporation, right over the purpose of destination, class of the members of the accepted provide the act determined of the Constitution by law of the corporation may provide that each member of the corporation shall have the right to the vote one vote to each of the matters submitted with the one vote meetings at all of the members of the corporation. Each organization will with the member corporation provided with the Constitution thereof should be entitled with the benefit of the incorporation under the act with such benefit that shall cease immediately either upon with the resignation of the corporation with the event is all of the membership of the corporation canceled with the otherwise terminated by the board of the directors provided with the Constitution of the corporation. Section 6. Upon enactment of the act of the membership of the board of directors of the corporation consists of the president member of the board of directors, Boys and Girl Club of America of the corporation description of section 16 of the act, such as them may be the embedded and living qualified benefit of the said board of directors to be the hot man of New York, Wayne Old Anderson, Detroit, Michigan, Sewell, Avery, Chicago, Illinois, Richard, Berlin, New York, Arthur T. Berger, Boston, Massachusetts, Henry S. Burns, New York, John L. Burns, New York, Peter Capray, New York. Okay, this song's pretty long, and be thereby the board of directors of the corporation shall consist of such of the number as many of the prescribed the Constitution corporation members of such of the board shall be selected in such a member manners include with the following vacancies shall serve of the such of the term being described with the Constitution bylaws of the corporation. See, the board of directors shall be managed by the corporation shall have the power of the duties responsible for the prescribed by the Constitution bylaws of the corporation. Section 7. The officer of the corporation of the chairman of the board of directors, president of more than one vice president prescribed by the Constitution bylaw of the corporation, secretary of the treasurer, one or more assistant secretaries, assistant treasurer of the provided by the Constitution bylaw of the officer of the corporation shall be elected with the member and such of the term and such to do with the prescribed in the Constitution bylaws of the corporation using income loan directors employees. The important income asset of the corporation shall inure with any of the benefit members of the director officer of the distributed over the during life of the corporation from the dissolution final liquidation. Nothing in the subject however shall be construed with the prevent with the payment of compensation of the compensation to the officer of the corporation amounts approved by the board of directors of the corporation. Corporation shall not make the loans of the officer of the director of the employee of the director of the vote of the assessor of the making of the loan advance of the officer of the director of the employee of the corporation and any officer of the participates making such a loan advance shall be jointly severely liable for the corporation amount of such loan until the repayment thereof. Non-political nature of the corporation officer of the director shall not contribute to otherwise support assist with any political party candidate of the public office. Liability acts of the agent. Corporation shall be liable to the act of the officer of the agents for acting within the scope of the authority. Prohibition against issuing stock of the payment of the dividends. The corporation shall have no power to issue stock and share of stocks to declare pay any of the dividends. Books and records inspection. Section 12. Corporation shall keep the correct and complete books of records amount and show within minutes of the proceeding with the members of the board and director of the committees having the authority under the board of the directors. Or shall keep it the principal officer of the record with the name and address of the members entitled to vote. All books and records of the corporation shall be inspected by a member entitled to vote, his agent, and an attorney for any of the purpose and proper purpose for the reasonable time. Use and asset dissolution liquidation unit financial transaction section 13A. Financial transactions should be audited with the annually independent certified public accountant according for the principal procedure of the applicable commercial corporation transaction and audited with the shall be conducted with the place where the account of the corporation normally kept with all the books and accounts of the financial record report files, all other papers of the things and property belonging to and or in use of the corporation necessary to facilitate with the audit shall be made available to the person conducting the audit of the full facilities of the verifying of the transaction of the balance of security held with the depository fiscal agent custodian shall be afforded to such person or persons. A report shall be to such audit made by the corporation of the Congress no later than March 1st. Each of the report shall separate with the scope of the audit include with the verification of the person conducting the audit statement as to the liability with the capital surplus for the deficient with the surplus of the deficient analysis of the income and expense for the five source applicant for refunds. Such report shall be not printed as a public document. Use of the asset for the dissolution and liquidation. Section 14. Upon dissolution, final liquidation, corporation after discharge of the satisfaction, understanding obligation, liability with the remaining asset if any of the corporation shall be distributed in the determination board of the director, corporation complying with the Constitution bylaw of the corporation, federal, state law applicable thereto. Or to transfer assets of Section 15 when the corporation may acquire the assets of the Boys Club of the America Corporation organized under the laws of the Commonwealth of the Massachusetts, discharging satisfactorily provided with the payment of the discharge of the liability of such corporation by complying all laws of the Commonwealth of the Massachusetts and applicable thereto, reservation right to amend the repeal charter Section 16, right to alter, amend, and repeal of the act is expressly reserved. Boys and Girls Club of the American Constitution, source of the Boys and Girls Club, and incorporated is amended, restated with November 18, 2013. Preamble: the Boys and Girls Club of the movement of the National Wall of Affliction of the autonomous member organization, Boys and Girls Club, working with the help of all the backgrounds and Boys and Girls Club to recognize with the leading advocates of the youth of the provided girls and boys, effective with the diverse programs, serve to demonstrate with the caring of the adults that can help the young people to grow into the contributing human beings with the necessary skills in living. Alright, give me 1 minute, I'll be on. Boys and Girls Club united with a common mission of the strive with the enable the youth, especially those who need to upmost of the becoming responsible, productive of the caring citizens. Boys and Girls Club is lead with the following principles developed by owners and founded for the important and for the viable the mission, providing hope for the opportunity of the youth, with the focus youth with the disadvantaged circumstances, system and inform of the guidance opportunity with the youth of the development ongoing with the relationship with the caring of adults, unique youth development and philosophy with the commitment with the charter of the development that also provides fun, diverse, interesting experiences for the youth where thereby reaffirming the belief of the principle of the Constitution. Article 1, name, break. Hello? Okay. Article 1, Constitution, Boys and Girls Club. The name of the corporation shall be the Boys and Girls Club of America. Article 2, Purpose. Purpose of the nonprofit charitable education corporation shall be to promote with the help of the social, educational, vocation, character development of all youth throughout the United States of America to receive the investment of the diverse funds and the whole of the property purposes of the corporation. Section 2 of the purpose shall be achieved by providing national leadership to the development of the Boys and Girls Club of America, move the developing activity to enable the member organization to render better service to the members of the providing assistance for the community with the establishment of the news club. Article 3, Board of Governors. Business property affairs of the corporation shall be managed by the board of directors, shall be done by the board of governors, shall have the power to establish policy inconsistent with established for the national council, to initiate, approve, to carry out plans and programs, serve as a member organization, to elect member organization, charter new clubs, to adopt an annual budget, corporation, borrow money to raise and disperse funds with an investment, reinvestment funds, corporation, to sell and buy, exchange property securely with the corporation, to make contracts to the deployment of the delegated power to appoint an employee of the corporation, fix over the compensation employee with a delegated with the power to appointment certain standing committees, and with the addition executive committee, board of governance committee, at least the majority of the members of each shall be the members of the board of governance to perform such other duties, exercise such other the powers being necessary to carry out the purpose of the corporation. Section 2, the board of governors of the corporation shall consist of at least 21 minutes of the membership of the board of governors shall be elected to the national council by plurality vote annual meeting of the National Council. Each shall serve a term of 3 years until the successor is elected and qualified. Section 3, Board of Governors shall have the power to fill vacancy with the owner's own membership and cause by annual whatsoever successors are elected with the National Council. Board of Governors. Alright. Board of Governors may establish trustee groups of the corporation for the mission, goals, objectives of the Boys and Girls Club movement. Board of Governors shall elect the chairman of each of the trustee group. The Board of Governors shall have no control over the affairs of the member organization, including but not limited to safety, compliance with federal, state, and local laws, physical facility, financing, policy and programs, personal policy and decision. Board of Governors shall have no authority to hire, terminate, discipline, fix the compensation, prescribe the duties, and establish terms of employment of the officer for the employee of the membership organization. Article 4, Membership. Section 1, Membership of the corporation shall consist of the member organization operate one or more clubs according to the requirements of the membership of the operating statement of the established the National Council of Corporations which have been elected with the membership of the Board of Governance and Corporation. Section 2, the member organization may resign from the corporation upon written notice addressed to the secretary of the corporation if any member organization does not meet established requirements of membership to the operating standards upon written notice of membership of the such member organization in any of the clubs. Such member organization shall be determined with a put in the provisional status of the otherwise conducted. The decision to terminate the membership will be judgment of the board and governor of the corporation. Who can authorize the president to take such action on the behalf of the decision to put provisional status otherwise conducted membership will be in the judgment of the president of the corporation. Section 4, a member organization will have the control of their own affairs include but not limited to the safety, compliance of federal, state, and local laws, physical facility, finances, policy and programs, personal policy and decision. Member organization shall have the sole authority to terminate, to discipline, to fix compensation, to prescribe duties, and establish terms of employment and employees or officers within neither the Board of Governors Corporation nor the corporation itself shall have the authority to respect employment policy decision member organization. Article 5 of the National Council, the policy of the corporation determined the National Council which also shall provide Constitution established requirement membership of the corporation, establish operating standard of the elected of the member of the Board of Governors, determine annual membership, the duties of the be paid for the member organization active on all of the may be to properly come before it. Section 2, National Council shall consist of one delegate and one alternative designated annually by each member organization individual, provided Article 5, Section 4 below, all of whom shall be the deemed member of the National Council. Each member organization will have the right to one vote, either by the delegate, alternative of the proxy manner submitted to the vote at meetings of the National Council. all members, board of governors, corporation, professional officer of the each and professional member and national staff of the corporation, chairman, area of the council hereby established shall be members of the national council during the respective terms of office. Each shall be entitled to present any of the meeting of the national council, speak any of the questions, shall not be entitled to vote. Section 5. National council shall have no authority to hire of the term in a discipline, fix the compensation, prescribes the duties and established terms of employment of the officer of the employee of the member organization, or otherwise establish personal policy for the member organization. Section 6. Meeting of the National Council. The annual meeting of the National Council should be held at the time and the place for the annual national conference of the corporation. Any other time and the place may be fixed with the Board of Governors and Corporation itemized agenda of the business to come before the annual meeting of the term of the National Area Council Committee and the Chairman of the National Council was defined below Section 5, Article 10, at least 60 days before the date of the annual meeting of the National Council. Secretary of the Corporation shall send notice of the time of the place of meeting of the submitted itemized agenda of the business to come before the meeting of the member, each member organization, to the individual member of the National Council. Items not on the agenda will be introduced to the discussion. The annual meeting will be not voted upon at such meeting. Meetings of the member may be held either in person or by teleconference. Any other electronic members participating enables person participating in meeting to hear each of them vote during the meeting, and participation by such means shall constitute presence of the person in a meeting. Section 2. In case of a failure, the Board of Governors to fix time and place annual meeting of the National Council, herein provided in 25-member organization, may request the annual meeting to be called by the Board of Governors. Section 3. Special meeting of the National Council should be held with the call of the Board of Governors to request the National Request of the National Area Council Committee with the chairman of the National Council provided the notice shall be given in the Secretary of the Corporation of the time, place, and purpose such meeting of the members of the National Council at least 30 days before the date of each meeting. No action, however, shall be taken in such a meeting upon any of the matters otherwise stated in such a notice. Section 4. 25% of the voting member of the National Council present in person with the proxy shall constitute with a quorum within any meeting of the National Council. With the absence of the quorum, majority of the voting members present over the time place set for the meeting, but to take an adjournment from time to time until the quorum of the present. Proxy voting may be done by the prior to the meeting through the submission of the mail, fast amount, online voting, or other electronic means. Section 5. Chairman of the Board of Governors, Chair of the National Council, in the event of the Chairman absence, with the Chairman elected, the Board of Governors shall act with the Chairman thereof. With the absence both of the Chairman of the Board of Governors or the Chairman elect, with the Board of Governors, Vice Chairman of the Board of Governors shall act with the Chairman of the National Council. Section 6. At all meetings of the National Council, all of the matters are determined with a majority vote of the member organization present in person or by proxy unless otherwise provided by the Constitution. Section 7. The Board of Governance Committee. Each annual meeting of the National Council with the members of the National Council will elect the authorized chairman of the Board of Governors to appoint with the member of the Board Governors Committee with compromise at least 3 members of the National Council who do the duty to present with the National Council for the National Annual Meeting of the following such election with the nomination of the members of the Board of Governors. Any member of the National Council may nominate to the candidates of the Board of Governors over the corporation. That's fine. Such common nominates may be sent with the writing of the Board of Governors Committee at least 120 days prior to the annual meeting of the National Council. Article 8. Executive Committee. The Chairman of the Board of Governors may appoint an Executive Committee consisting of the officers of the corporation. Such member of the Board of Governors of the Chairman shall appoint said committee shall have all the responsibility power of the executive of the authority board of the governance and of the management business corporation during the intervals between the meeting of the Board of Governors. Members of the executive committee shall serve until the successors are elected and appointed until they are removed of the Board of Governors. The chair of the Board of Governors shall serve as the chairman of the executive committee. Article 9. Officers of the Board of Governors shall elect among the volunteers membership of the chairman and the board chairman and elect one or more of the vice chairman, treasurer, secretary. Such officer for the chair will determine over the time each of the term in 1 year, with the exemption of the chair who served for the term of 2 years until his or her respective successors elected with shall qualify the volunteer. Officer of the Board of Governors shall elect for the president of the corporation, assistant secretary of the corporation, assistant treasurer of the corporation. Each of them who will be on such election become the professional member of the National staff of the corporation, each of the term 1 year until his respective successor elected shall qualify elected with the professional officers. Section 3. The Board of Governors shall have the authority to fill a vacancy in any office of the director with Article 9 occurring by any other reason. The Board of Governors shall fix the compensation and prescribe the duties of the term of employment of the president, corporation president of the corporation shall direct the compensation duty of the term of the other professional officer of the employee of the corporation, subject in accordance with the instruction of the Board of the Governors. National Council of the Board of Governors may elect with the honorary governors who shall attend such meeting with the Board of Governors. Board of Governors shall from time to time during the night such honorary members of the Board of Governors shall have the exercise any of the powers members of the Board of Governors of the corporation. Article 10. Area Council. The Board of Governors provide with the chair of the National Area Council Committee shall include at least 3 but not more than 6 representatives, member organization acting to represent each of the region of the corporation as well, with up to 4 at-large representatives of the National Area Council Committee shall provide with the established area of the council shall designate area of each of the area council shall function. Section 2. Membership of the area of the council consists of at least 1 volunteer member of the governing body of each of the member organization area of the such area council, chief professional officer of each of the such member organization, also known as chief officer, as the asterisk. Area Council should be created to provide with liaison function between the constituting member organization corporation, provide form of the constitute of the member organization for any of the firm is consistent with the purpose of the policy of the corporation, provide with the head of the promoting such purpose. No area council should commit subject to the corporation obligation without corporation's prior express written consent. Area Council will receive the information member organization proposed agenda item for the National Council meeting. It will be responsible to each of the area Council to discuss and decide whether the proposed agenda should be submitted to the National Area Council Committee for consideration. Agenda of the National Council meeting. Each of the member organizations shall appoint with a member of the governing, provide with a serve of the liaison for the area of the council. Such member shall serve with the executive committee of the governing body, or regularly update with the executive committee of the governing body issue described or discussed as the Area Council. Section 4. Area Council shall have no authority to hire, terminate, discipline, fix compensation, prescribe the duties, establish terms of employment over the officer of the employee membership organization which the Area Council are, and otherwise establish personal policy with the members of the organization. Article 11. The membership of the dues. In return for the privilege of membership of the member organization shall pay an annual membership of the dues to the corporation such amount, such term, condition, and the National Council is made time to time determined. Article 12. Bylaws. The Board of Governors Corporation shall have the power to adopt bylaws regulating the affairs and prescribing the duties of the officer of the corporation. Bylaws shall be not inconsistent with the Constitution. Article 13. Use of assets, dissolution, and use of the income. Upon dissolution of the corporation, Board of Governors shall, after paying and making the provision of the payment of liability of the corporation, dispose of all of the assets of the corporation, exclusively for the purpose of the corporation, such a manner to organize, operated exclusively with a charitable, educational, religious, and scientific person as of the time the qualified exempt organizations, or Section 501c3 of the Internal Revenue Code of 1986 of the corresponding provision of the future of the United States and Internal Revenue Law of the Board of the Governor shall determine any of such evidence did not be disposed of. The word shall be disposed of by the court with the common jurisdiction written principal officer of the corporation with the located with exclusively with itself for the purpose of the specific organization. Organization court shall determine which areas are operated with exclusively for such purpose. Section 2. No part of the net earnings of the corporation nor with the benefit of the distributed with the director of the officer of any of the private persons except for the corporation shall be authorized and empowered to pay reasonable compensation for service and with the render of the make payment to distribution, furtherance, and charitable purpose. Article 14. Identification. In accordance with the subject of the policy with receive and establish the Board of Governors, the corporation full extent with the permitted of the District of Columbia Non-Profit Corporation Code, identity with the defendant with the hold harmless and each of the members of the Board of Governors, officers, and the employee agent of the corporation from and against any of all the liabilities, costs, and expenses, including attorney fee with the expenses reasonably incurred by him or her belief connection, legal action proceeding which he or she may be part of the reason with his or her being, having been a member of the Board of Governors, officer of the employee agent of the corporation by reasons of the action alleged to have been taken, omitted by him or her for such capacity. Identification provided herein shall not be deemed exclusive of any other rights whichever identified with the entitled under Constitution by law, agreement, vote, disinterested members of the Board of Governors otherwise. Article 15 Amendment. The Constitution may be amended upon affirmative vote of the third party of the member organization present of the member person proxy meeting of the National Council, provided, however, the copy of each proposed amendment considered at the meeting of the National Council shall be mailed to each of the member organization, each member National Council, at least 60 days of the date of such meeting. Requirements for membership, rights, and responsibilities. When organizations accept the member organization Boys and Girl Club, the following rights and privileges are conferred: the right to identify with the Boys and Girls Club movement, right to receive service of the Boys and Girls Club of America, right to use Boys and Girl name, logo, and intellectual property Boys and Girls Club of America, right to participate in voting annual meetings of the National Council member organization, following the obligation fully comply with the requirements adopted and approved with the National Council full with accordance with the Constitution. Boys and Girls Club of America with a policy with a procedure adopted with the National Council to maintain advanced public trust, reputation with the member organization. Boys and Girls Club of America with the national organization, assuming the following represent with the member organization. Uphold the activity provision Constitution included with the membership requirement adopted and approved with the National Council. The SIPs assist with the establishment of the new Boys and Girls Club, provide service to further the purpose of the Boys and Girls Club movement. Maintain and advance public trust, the reputation of Boys and Girls Club movement. And any non-profit organization may be elected with a membership of the Board of Governors Boys of the Girls and Club of America over thereby with a major organization if it has purpose of education, career development, character, leadership, health, wellness, arts and sports and recreation, operates at least a club unit, all associated cited with the charter of the defined unit and extension of the community impact program and complying with the requirements of the set forth therein and operating standards adopted and approved of the National Council, is lended by the governor body with the members of the selected irrespective of the race and the ethnicity, gender expression, sexual orientation, ability, religion, age of the national origin. The organization must apply with the exemption service and center membership requirements. All military affiliated with the organization must comply as signed with the branch of service rules and regulation. 1. Safety Preamble. All member organizations must provide safety environment with the children, with the teen staff, with the volunteers, and with the visitors according to the requirements adopted and approved by the National Council. 1.1. Complying with the safety laws, each member organization comply with the applicable mandate with the report, statute, regulation, all of the applicable tribal, federal, state, and local laws, including the pertaining to the license and licensed organization protects safety of the youth. 1.2. Performance of the criminal background checks. Each member organization shall secure with the criminal background checks included divided with the board, a member of the individual serving on the board, standing with the committee with addition with a volunteer with a third party with a professional who direct the repetitive of the interaction with the young people with the background checks. Such background checks should be secured prior to the employment, voluntary engagement, other affiliation at least once every 12 months thereafter. Name, fingerprint, base record searches may be used with a combination by shell with the minimum to verify with the personal identity, the alias for the verification, social security number to provide with new sex offender with the registry search, provide comprehensive criminal search with include with the national search, provide comprehensive local criminal search and include with the statewide community level, county level the criminal search depending on jurisdiction. Membership requirement must also be shared with a member organization background provider. 1.3. Applying background check findings. According with the state and federal laws, all the background checks are considered with a member of the organization making employment of volunteer decision with a member organization prohibited with the hiring with engaging in potential staff with the board members of volunteers, continuing to employ with engage with the current staff of the board member of the volunteers shall with the director of the repetitive of the interaction with the youth if such an individual refuse to consider with a criminal background check with a make false statement the connection with the source of the criminal background check is required by a registered and state national sex offender of the registry have convicted of felony consisting but not limited to murder, child abuse, domestic violence, abduction, human trafficking, criminal involved with rape and sexual assault, arson, weapons, and physical assault with a battery, drug possession, drug use, distribution over the last 5 years and have been convicted of misdemeanor felony against children, including child pornography. 1.4. Applying reference check. Each member organization shall conduct a reference check with a candidate, employee, with a volunteer, with a director, with a repetitive of the interaction of young people. Each member organization must inquire with a potential candidate, employment of a potential volunteer, with a previous Boys and Girls Club experiences shall with the candidate, serve with the employee, with the volunteer, serve with the roles of the director, with a repetitive interaction role. Young people have the previous experience with the Boys and Girls Club with the information candidates eligible rehire. Volunteer may be obtained with a previous all Boys and Girls Club candidate worked at prior to the extending of the offer of the employment of volunteer services. Additionally, all members of the organization shall provide accurate assessment of the potential candidate with the eligibility to hire volunteer when asked for the member organization. 1.5 Policy of Protection of Youth. Every organization shall have the place on the file policy with the same of the product of the youth and with the incorporated policy approved of the National Council, include but are not limited to child abuse prevention, responsibility included with the guidance of staff, child with ratio, prohibition, private one-to-one interactions between youth and staff of the volunteers, board members, drug, alcohol-free workplace facility, including guidance of the restroom usage, screening, and onboarding. Incident reporting and investigation, emergency operation, transportation, and technology acceptable use, including prohibition, incorporated technology-based interaction between youth and staff volunteers, board members with the other youth during and after club hours. 1.6 Reporting critical incidents. Each member organization shall immediately report any known allegation of the abuse of the potential of the criminal matter. Law enforcement appropriate authorities. In addition, each of the member organizations shall report the following known to critical incidents of the Boys and Girls Club of America within 24 hours. An assistance allegation, child abuse, including physical, emotional, sexual abuse, sexual misconduct, exploitation, club related against the child by the current employee of the volunteer club related instances by former employee or volunteer in the instance of the allegation child abuse of the physical, emotional, sexual abuse, sexual misconduct, exploitation of the youth towards the youth of the club site when during the club sponsored activity. Any city who might have been inducted the reported missing from the club site with the club sponsored activity, any major medical emergency involving a child, staff member, volunteer at the club site during the club sponsored activity and leading to the extending of his hospitalization, permanent injury, with the death of a mental health crisis with a child requiring outside care. Incident allegation abuse, including physical, emotional, sex abuse, sexual misconduct, harassment, exploitation, club related not alleged against any staff member, any club related instance of allegation abuse, including physical, emotional, sexual abuse, sexual misconduct, harassment, or club related exploitation against volunteer or visitor. Failure in inspection, child care license, agency, or organization. Instance of the allegation felony level of criminal act committed with the club style over the club sponsored activity. Any misappropriation of organizational funds amount of $10,000 or greater in an amount federal funds. Any criminal or civil legal action involving the organization employee with the volunteers as well as any change with the staff of the opening of the organization related legal action. Negative media attention on the compromise with the regulation of the member organization of the Boys and Girl Club brand. Any other instance deemed critical of the member organization. 1.7 The Safety Committee. The governing body of each of the member organization must establish and maintain a safety committee with the chaired active board member and leads the organization safety agenda. The committee shall meet at least 3 times each year to implement solutions to ensure safety with all of the members safe with the staff of the volunteer visitor. Verify organization submission annual only safety assessment. Review of the result of the safety assessment, identify areas of improvement, review of the organization safety policy, submit committee chairman contact information annually to the Boys and Girl Club of America. 1.8 Safety Committee with the assessment and review. Safety Committee with each of the membering organization by governing bodies should conduct an annual facility assessment, review safety policy, review of the result of all the safety assessment, identify safety needs and the area of the improvement. 1.9 External organization on safety, site safety assessment. Each organization undergo the annual organization site safety assessment conducting Boys and Girls Club of America with a design designate each club shall site being assessed over every 24 months against the defined set of child and club safety standards. Requirements may be reviewed 2027 review with the National Committee appointed with the President CEO of the Boys, Girls, and Club of America. Recommendation for revisions made with the National Area Council of Committee with the Chairman of the National Council of the review of the proposed changes presented by the National Council consideration 2028. The task force composed of local club professionals, membership, governance, compliance advisory committee, board members, and external safety experts, and supported Boys and Girls Club staff. 1.10 Safety Training. Each member organization shall conduct a report of Boys and Girls Club of America, approve of the process following the training with all the staff of the members, the volunteers, direct repetitive interaction young people to provide before providing services to young people annually thereafter. The Boys and Girls Club to approve of the child abuse prevention. improve mandated reporting, improve grooming prevention, and member organization policy, including all safety policy. 111. In CPR and first aid training, each member organization will have at least one staff member to volunteer present at each site during all of the operating of the youth to be served during a club-sponsored off-site with the activity trip with the American Red Cross certified fully trained through the qualifying comprehensive adult, infant, and child CPR and first aid training. 112. Display safety on collateral. Each club site must promptly display Boys and Girl Club of America approved collateral. The shares the ethics hotline, crisis text line, safety helpline, information members and safe volunteers and families. 113. Sharing safety policies with the parents and guardian. Each member organization must make available the safety policy and parents of the guardians upon receiving the minor youth and membership of the application. 114. Club members and minors serving with the club and employees and volunteers. Each member organization will have in place the following policy procedure clearly defining the scope of the minors and serve with the employee with the volunteers work-based learning participants in the club shall ensure that such minor with complete with the mandatory training before they were working on other young people. Additional all club staff will supervise the minor employee of the volunteers work-based learning participants must complete mandatory training on such supervision. 115. Insurance. Every member of the organization maintain a comprehensive general liability sex misconduct insurance. Boys and Girl Club of America roof carrier. Each minimum policy limit of $1 million per occurrence, $3 million aggregated. Member organization agree that the Boys and Girl Club of America must be named additional and ensure the primary coverage of the general liability sexual misconduct policy certificate of insurance declaration page must be filed with the Boys and Girls Club of America annually. Organization they have third-party review sufficient over the core coverage amounts of every 2 years over the reflect their size and location of the range of services. Every member organization shall maintain the comprehensive directive of the Office of Liability Insurance Coverage and Employment of Practice Liability Insurance Coverages, each minimum policy limit of $1 million. 2. People. Preamble. Every member organization must employ with a qualified staff with engaged qualified volunteers committed to provide safety, health, and education development, including social, vocational, character development, guidance for the members of the club that operates in accordance with the requirements as adopted and approved by the National Council, complying with the employment laws. Each member organization comply with the applicable regulation, tribal, federal, state, and local laws, including with around the employment and practice for the benefit and license for the compliance shall be reviewed by local organization governing body at least annually. 2. Employment of chief officer, executive officer. Every member organization shall employ a paid full-time chief executive officer. The chief executive officer may responsibly directly with the governing body of the member organization, be responsible for the executive administrative control of the financing, operating personnel of the member organization, according to the policy and procedures established in said governing body, have capability to effect with the run organization, demonstrated positively organizational performance established said governing body, and newly hired chief executive officer must begin active participation and adherence for the comprehensive CEO onboard process. First 7 days of start date. Overall onboard processing will include a mandatory Boys and Girl Club of America facility, new executive orientation training. 2-3 staff youth ratio of the program operations. Every member organization shall have the established establish supervision level does not exceed with the trained staff with the trained adult volunteer with a youth ratio of 1 to 20 program operations at each shared site. The staff may include a trained minor employee with who must have the direct supervision adult with the same in the program space. Adult volunteers are accounted as part of the ratio should be trained same level of the staff according to the organizational training policy. 2-4 site supervision. Each shared site shall provide designated supervisor position separated with the CEO that is responsible site level of the operation. Supervisors must complete Boys and Girls Club of America facility training with the first 6 months of the hire. 2-5 writing training development plan for the all employees. Each member organization will have the place for the document training and planning for the all employees, including the orientation on board or ongoing learning development. 2-6 orientation on board tracking volunteer participation. All volunteers who direct repetitive interaction youth must comply. Document orientation on board processing. Volunteer participate must be tracked by member organization by track signing, program participation, signing out, and etc. Each member organization provided with the following plans: eligible employee with a retirement plan with a provided internal review service, qualified in retirement plan. Eligible employees defined by the plan provided either a non-elective employee contributed equal to at least 3% eligible employee pay Minimum matching employer contribution equals 100% of the employee contribution up to at least 3% employee pay. Comprehensive medical insurance provide comprehensive medical insurance available to all of the eligible employees paid at least 50% of the cost of employee on coverage. Group term life insurance of the program. Group term life insurance people plan available to all eligible employees pay at least 50% of the cost of the employee on coverage. Long-term disability insurance provide long-term disability insurance plan available to eligibility employees pay at least 50% of cost employees only coverage. 2.8. Employee policy of the workplace behavior. Each member organization shall develop an employee policy provided with the framework of the employees are expected on behalf. Policy should include all areas of employment and include safety training with a requirement compensation, termination benefits, employee relations, and leave absence. 2.9. Employee compensation. Each member organization shall establish and maintain a comprehensive non-disclosure employee compensation program to pay salary competitive wage of other employees in sectors within the relevant market. And 2.7. The employee of the medical insurance would not be able to be passed on at a rate to the Boys and Girls Club that they participants. 3. Governance 3.0 Preamble. All member organizations shall be governed by Constitution, by laws and code of ethics consistent with the requirements adopted of the approved of the National Council. 3.1 Governing Bodies. Member organizations shall operate one or more clubs which meet the requirements of membership of the operating stream of the governing body, such as board of directors, administrative committee of the otherwise named debt with a new fewer within 7 of the members of the provided board appointed committee with the necessary to conduct organizational business no more than 2 business of the member organization with the governing body with the employee with the member organization of the club operates. CEO of the member organization may serve as the voting member of the member organization governing body, but more than not serve as the governing body chairs. All of the members of the member organization governing body shall participate Boys and Girls Club provided with approval of the training on board roles and responsibility. 3.2 Fiduciary oversight. Member organization governing body member organization fiduciary duty responsible to provide reasonable or effective oversight of the member organization. Governance, hiring, performance management, CEO, operational personnel, fiscal management, adoption, policy, procedure, planning, strategy, ensuring public trust, demonstrating positive organizational performance, established said governing body. 3.3 Naming convention. Newly chartered member organization must have the first words organization, Boys Club, Girls Club of. Organizational name change must be approved of the Boys Club, Girls Club. 3.4 Code of Ethics. All member organization staff of the governing body must annually sign, execute, and or acknowledge member organization code of ethics, which must address minimum conflicts of interest with record retention, whistleblower protection. 4. Financial stability. Preamble. The member organization shall have the effect of the oversight of the management of the funding in accordance with the member required, adopted, approved with the National Council. 4.1 Policy and procedure control that each member organization shall adopt and implement with adhere with the board, approve of the financial accounting of the policy, pursue with the control of the included appropriate segregation duties, comply with the generally accepted accounting principles, such principles to draft the key and the financial areas included but not limited to roles responsibly roles and responsibility of both staff and the board, receipt of the cash and check other methods of the payment, credit card usage, oversight includes CEO, check signing process of the banking and the reconciliation, employee with the reimbursement of debt, use repayment line of credit, gift acceptance, including in kind and accounting of the restrictive, the donation chart area of the account, general ledger. Policies review the annual with the recommended amendment for adoption will be approved with the being each member organization board of directors. 4.2 Financial audit. Each member organization call of the audit that may be the report with an independent certified public accountant with a copy of such audit, the SAS 115 letter issued thereof will be sent with the Boys and Girls Club agency, and 9 months of the close of the official year of the board and ratified plan of action of the Boys and Boys and Girls Club of America. Event organization deemed a local auditor with a material weakness, significant deficiency, and given an official year. Member organization annual review totally less than $250,000 may submit with a review financial statement and independent certified public accountant lieu of such audit as well with the IRS Form 990. All related correspondence shall be submitted with the Boys and Girls Club of America within 3 months of the completion according to the IRS deadlines inclusive of the applicable extension. 4.3 Cash Reserve Policy. Each member organization will have the board adopted the cash reserve policy in place. 4.4 State federal debt. No member organization shall unresolve the state of the federal debt without formally agreed upon workout plan writing of the Boys and Girls Club of America appropriate government agency. 5. Operations. Preamble. Each member organization shall operate with a safe and appropriate with a compliant manner additionally with a member organization easily identified with the Boys and Girls Club in accordance with requirements adopted and approved by the National Council. National Council. 5.1 Council complying with the building and with the regulation occupancy law with each member organization comply with the applicable federal, tribal, federal, state, and local laws, including over the around the building codes, local state transportation requirement regulation occupancy results. 5.2 Logo usage. Each operating site of the member organization must display with the current Boys and Girls Club with a service mark with the outside of the building and on all appropriate printed matter of the digital platforms. Must comply with approved of the graphic standards. 5.3 Site of the organization. All of the member organization operating with the tribe of the branches include with the unit extension of the community with the impact of the program shall have the clubhouse with the chapter club quarters. The as a club or for its members with the use of the aim of the substantial limited use of the rooms of the facility with equipment by members of the during club hours of the designated area. Each of these site with a registered charter with the Boys and Girls Club of America must meet with the requirements below with adopted and approved with the National Council with additional with each of the operating site must have a minimum of the 2 adult with the one whom a paid club professional with the presents individual program during operation hours. All forms of youth outreach not requiring with the other use of the charter site include but not limited to modal programs, virtual programming, off-site activities must operate within accordance with the applicable organizational policy membership requirements. Each member organization shall report activities attendance as part of the organizational annual reporting process. Units shall open when they make access activities available at least 10 minutes per year of the 5 days per week, 4 hours per day. Each unit may maintain annual membership with at least 100 members. Extension shall open when they make activity available at least 8 months for the per year with the 3 days per week with the 3 hours per day with a waiver of the minimum hours per day with a may be considered with the part of the partnership in the local school entities. Each extension must maintain annual membership with at least 50 members. Each site with the operating with a community impact program level must open and make available the activity to with a member of the consistent location of the during of the calendar year, but it does not have to meet with the extent of the operation and extension programs conducted in accordance with the other organizational operating standards effective each of the military effective the outreach program shall open and make it available to activity at least once 9 months per the year with 3 hours per day with at least 3 days per week. Each military affiliated outreach of the program maintained with an annual membership of at least 20 members. Programs must be conducted in compliance with the applicable branch of the service of the operating policy and procedure. Each site operating a residential program camp level shall provide services in accordance with all the state of the federal regulation where applicable. Trail regulations regarding residential care of the facility management include with all the relevant certification and licenses. Sport programs, leagues, and defined with those operated with the governing and chartered Boys and Girls Club organization operating state sites. Instructive competitive sport programs include those that will partnership with the other ethnic sports program. Legals must be operated in accordance with the organizational requirement of policy include sports program leagues may be supervised staff member of the local organization who will have the reachability with the management operation for the league. All practices and games must be conducted with at least 2 adult volunteers in attendance at all time. Mobile programs that define self-contained program orientation repetitively move between planned location, provide qualified programs, serve with a various group of youth. Virtual program includes a live synchronizing program activity facility with the organization, exclusive interface youth through the term and technology that includes but not limited to virtual school with the activity virtual clubhouse, offset with the activity defined organizational activity conducted offsite with the youth in or not operative deterred site. 5.4 Record keeping. All member organizations should keep the accurate records of the youth of the club that operates in their activity program and attends. Annual membership information must be collected on all youth and teens participating in the program. 5.5 Committee with the quality of the program. Each member organization shall execute with the program activity at high level of quality with the show with the demonstrate with the committee with the continuous quality improvement to demonstrate with the completion of the annual on-site level of the program quality assessment. 5.6. Annual improvement planning. Each member organization shall conduct the organizational assessment utilizing continuous quality improvement assessment process. Conjunction Boys and Girls Club of America staff and industry will develop and improve the annual improvement plan. 5.7. The non-sectarian and non-political programming member organizations shall not strive to promote sectarian participation in political belief. 5.8. Membership of the dues and fee of the member organization. Membership of the dues and fee of the membership of the ensure that all of the dues and fee of the means of the member shall not be so large to exclude an individual from the membership of the participation. 5.9. Submission. Annual report Boys and Girls Club of America. Each member organization shall submit of the Boys and Club of America annual report organization membership of the activity, attendance, for finance such annual report member organization CEO governing body chair shall conform compliance with the requirement of membership of the adopted and approved of the National Council. 5.10. Each member organization shall maintain the ability to communicate electronically with the Boys and Girls Club of America. Additionally, each Boys and Girls operation shall have the play for the data management system capable of electronic submission membership of the organizational data, excluding donor information, financial data containing the consistent with the data found with the Boys and Girls Club of America annual report. Data will be sent for each of the member organization Boys and Girls Club of America with a regular basis will not contain personal identifiable information. Data management system chosen by each of the member organization must meet with the Boys and Girls Club of America system integration requirements of the electronic data submission. 5.11. Payment of membership of the Boys and Girls Club of America. Each member organization shall pay with the membership of the due with the Boys and Girls Club of America based on the total of the operating expense for the previous year as determined and approved with the National Council of the dates of the payable with the fully with the October 1st, the amount of the duties due with the determinant of the formula listed of the Boys and Girls Club of America to do the structure. Member organizations shall pay with any of the fees special for service of the unusual over and above those normally expected to result of the payment to do with the established present Boys and Girls Club of America with approval of the boards and government. Boys membership of the dues club operating expenses at less than $100,000 at 1.25% of the total amount rate to do is payable. $1,199.99, $200,000, $1,500 plus 1% except for the $100,000. $200,000 to $500,000 to $2,500 plus 0.5% excess of $200,000. $500,000 to $1 million, $4,000 plus 25% in excess of $5 million. $1 million to $5 million, $6,000 plus 25% except for the $100 million. Excess over $5 million, excess of $15,000 plus 25%, excess of $5 million. 5.12. Serve at the area all member organization here with a clearly defined serve at the area with a rating name organization site with agreed upon boundaries established collaborative impact member organization with the final approval of the Boys and Girls Club of America. Appendix and exemptions. Alright, key government documents, Boys and Girls Club of America, incorporation, congressional charter,